Yesterday, my video for this game, Final Fantasy II, got claimed because of this opening song. But it was clearly not being reported by the guy that owns it. It was saying it was like this Brazilian music company. I was like, I don't know about that for Final Fantasy II. Anyways. Oh, so you're moving to same city, I presume. Like you're moving into the same area. Okay, it's time. It's time. Big climax. Oh, nice. How's the game volume, by the way? My Streamlabs broke from all those Chilla's Art games. So I can't see my volume. Does it sound okay? It's loud? Okay. The desktop, like the game volume is loud, you mean? Yeah, okay. Thanks a lot. Yeah, that broke. Streamlabs broke during those Chilla's Art games, so I can't see any of that info. Thanks a lot, I appreciate it. You have braved the bowels of hell to reach me. But the hand of man, which deals in false justice and forsaken love, can never hope to defeat the Lord Master of Hell. Okay. Here it is. The fight that we got our asses kicked on last time. Attack. Magic. Blink. Attack. Attack. This is so much better than yesterday already. It's crazy. Okay, attack. Magic. We're going to use haste. Attack. Attack. Oh, I'm very confident today. We have gotten I should say. So, yesterday off stream, we got two big things that we missed. One was that we got Masamune, which was just a chest and a hidden door in this temple that we missed. We also got Excalibur. Excalibur was given to us by the mom and child who were in the castle where the wyvern was. We basically told them that Rickard died, and we talked about wyverns, and they said that they were going to basically move on and find a new life and live in peace, and they gave us Excalibur. So Curly is currently dual-wielding Masamune and Excalibur. We also have just gotten a shit ton of buffs. So, let's do Berserk. Apparently, one thing that was disappointing to me, by the way, that I looked up. So, after... Oh, that guy's blinded. Here, let's... You know what? He'll attack. She will go... Let's do Sap. He is going to attack, and he is going to use a eye drops on Curly. Let's hope CD North goes first, but either way. So... Do you remember how there was that room? Nice. We're going to destroy this guy. Okay. There was a room in Paul's house that I knew we could go through because there was just an exclamation mark. It's like, there's something here. Or it kept saying there's nothing here. Well, apparently there's a very small window in which you can go there that we missed. And in that very small window, it's... after the cyclone appears, but before you get the wyvern. So there's just a very, very, like... It's basically like a 1-minute window in which you can open up that room. Which is kind of annoying. It's kind of silly that it's such a limited window. In that room, you can get something called a blood sword, which apparently trivializes this fight. Okay, let's go... Let's get goats in on the damage. Okay, and goats won this fight. Oh my god, yesterday we did this fight for an hour and 10 minutes. And just, we're stuck. Today, just like, oh my god. A totally different story. Unbelievable. Defeated by insects like you, not once, but twice. Who are you? Ugh. I mean, I buffed the hell out of my magic. It's done. Now let's get out of here. I buffed the hell out of my magic and stuff off stream. So we're totally different party today than we were last stream. It's done. Now let's get out of here. It's finally over, isn't it? It was a long struggle, but with the Emperor gone, we've nothing left to fear. Thank you, with all my heart, I thank you. With the combined strength of Kashuin and Finn, we will rebuild the kingdom anew. Together, Princess, we will create a kingdom even fairer than the old. Though once a coward, I now stand here a new man. I have all of you to thank for that. You have my deepest gratitude. I'm sure Scott is smiling down on me from above. Wait, wasn't she... She loved Scott, right? Look at you. You realize what you've done. Who am I supposed... Who am I supposed to steal from with the Empire gone? You put me out of a job. I guess I'll have to start stealing from you. Better watch your backs. You sure show them, Curly. You're every bit the bloke I pegged you for. If you feel like trying your hand at pirating... What? That not sit well with you, goats? Looks like your next battle's already begun, Curly. You did it. I'm sure my dad's happy for you, too. Up there above the clouds. I'm going to be working here, serving the princess. I just want to do whatever I can to help out. Oh my god. This is still like a horror-themed day. There was a ghost. Joseph? We must now dedicate ourselves to the task of restoring what was lost. Farewell. Words cannot express my gratitude to you all. War finally over. Yes. We can all live in peace again, together. Right, CD North? Really? There could be no going back. Not for all of us. But why? Don't go! Curly, stop him! Goats, CD North is right. We've been through too much. I can't stop him, not now. CD North, we'll meet again. Get out of here, CD North. Oh, ghosts. Well, we should be going too. This is only the beginning. Ooh, we get to see the Jade Passage. Their long struggle was finally at an end. The Emperor. Pandemonium. The monsters plaguing the world. All vanished without a trace. Peace had returned once more. The wounds of the war would mend. And the memory of those bitter days would fade. But one thing would never be forgotten. That a band of young heroes once saved the world. To the fans across the globe, both past and present, and to the crew who brought the originals to life, we offer our profound and heartfelt thanks. Okay, the credits are probably going to be longer than the gameplay of this VOD today. But this will allow us to kind of decompress. Okay. That was really interesting. You're gonna buy... Oh, yeah, I did buy it. I did. I appreciate it, though. That's really generous. Yeah, I have both Castlevania collections on Steam. I would like to play them sometime. So... Yeah, Aria, was it Aria of Sorrow or something? Yeah, I would definitely check that out. It's freaky, so I can do it on Fridays. Okay, so I think the next big game I'm going to jump into at some point, probably next week, I presume, maybe, is I'm going to start Final Fantasy 3 at some point. I'm excited for Final Fantasy 3 because I honestly know nothing about it. I know nothing about it except for jobs. Jobs are in it. Cloud of Darkness is a boss. Yeah, I'm really interested too, because we've now played through 3 Final Fantasy games on stream. We played through Final Fantasy 1, we played through Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, and we played through Final Fantasy 2. And the 3 games I usually hear are the worst are 2, 3, and Mystic Quest. And having played them all, I don't think it's nearly as straightforward as that. Really? 1 had... So 2 blows 1 away in terms of story. 2 has a far superior story to 1 in basically every conceivable way. It actually is a story that pretty much holds up in the series, basically. I mean, obviously, it's not going to be as nuanced or deep as the later titles, but the story in that game is solid. I think Final Fantasy 1 is more charming, and I think it's more fun. And I think part of that has to do with it's simpler in certain ways, and the problem with this game is... I think part of the problem with this game is it boils down to dominant strategy. My favorite of all time... I've never played 6. I've played 6. I've never beaten 6. I've never gotten far in 6. It's hard for me to say what my favorite is. I love... It's also hard because so many of these I played as a kid, right? So 8 is the one I played the most. And I need to revisit that as an adult. Because that game I have such nostalgia goggles for. Same with 7, 8, 9. All of those I have huge nostalgia goggles for. And so I want to view it with an adult's eyes at some point. I always had a real fondness for 5. And I played 5 as an adult. 5 has basically a bad story, essentially. The story in 2 is much better than the story in 5. But 5 is really fun. 5 is... I would compare Final Fantasy 5 to Final Fantasy 1, but a lot more fun. And I think that... I know Final Fantasy 5 gets compared a lot more to Final Fantasy 3, because they both have the job system. But 5, to me, feels like the peak of that type of Final Fantasy game. Which it seems like 1, 3, and 5 are probably all that type. And 2 seems like another type. Yeah, 5 is a lot of fun. The problems that 2 had... For Apologist, 4 is loved. People love 4, from what I've heard. I've always heard 4 is one of the best stories. Anyways, yeah, I've heard... Although I've heard After Story or whatever it's called kind of sucks. Yeah, we're definitely going to get there. I'm going to do all of these. I also, at some point, want to do the game... there was a game that was Japanese only, and it was effectively being developed as Final Fantasy VII, but then it was on Super NES, and so they wound up not making it Final Fantasy VII. It's called Treasure of the Rudras, I want to say. Treasure of the Rudras. That one looks awesome. So I want to play Treasure of the Rudras at some point. Okay, I think Final Fantasy II is a lot better than Mystic Quest, personally. How far are they with these remasters? I believe 5 just came out. I think we're waiting on 1 more. By the time I finish 5, I'm sure 6 will be out. Or if 5 is not out, it comes out this month. So, the issue with 2, I think, is an issue of dominant strategy, where you generally develop what the game rewards you to do. And one of the issues with this game is that the problem is you effectively have 3 party members, and your 4th party member keeps swapping out, and your endgame party member you don't get until the last quest. So you're down a member to develop, right? So effectively you're developing 3 characters. When you have 4 characters, what you want to do is you want to have 2 melee and 2 magic, right? Really. And you want to split up the black magic and the white magic, generally. That is generally the balanced team for this, usually. The problem with this game is when you're down a member, you can't really develop your 4th member as a mage. Because your 4th member is always going to be replaced. So your 4th member is always going to be inferior. And so what you should do to develop for endgame, I'm guessing, is have 1 physical and then 2 mages. The problem, though, is that for 98% of the game, melee is just the strong thing. And so you're way more successful if you're just developing characters like I did through this game. Like, we had very little challenges throughout this game. And then we got to the end of the game, and we hit a freaking wall because our magic was underdeveloped. The other problem that I think is a game design problem is the fact that your magic gets more expensive as it gets stronger. So as you're trying to improve your magic, you're actually not really being able to cast it more. Yeah, you're getting more MP, but everything gets more and more expensive. And so it makes it even harder to develop magic in spite of all of that, like on top of all of that. So I think from a purely gameplay standpoint, this game had ambitious gameplay, and it would be fun if you were like, you know, I could imagine it being so fun if you're a kid and you're just like really, you know, you just like really want to grind and train everyone and be good at everything because everyone can be the best at everything. But in practice of a playthrough, I don't think it works like that. The other big problem, I think, now this is all through the lens of the Pixel Remaster. The Pixel Remaster gives you quick saves. The original does not give you quick saves. Some of those guys that you fight in dungeons, you get ambushed and they insta-kill you and you die. You can die in 1 turn from some of these guys and just before you have a chance to act. Now, obviously that you would then have to counter that with gear, right? Okay, because of that, everyone needs a protect ring. So I need to farm a protect ring. That is what everyone wears, and it would force you into certain conditions. But without quick save, it would be very punishing, I think. And that's part of the thing that we saw in Mystic Quest. That the fact that you had 1 to 2 characters in Mystic Quest meant that status effects were unbelievably punishing and effectively, regardless of what level you were, made it impossible to beat certain fights unless you had better RNG. If you had bad RNG, you were guaranteed to lose a fight. And because of that, they put in a quick save into that game because it would be the hardest Final Fantasy game on the planet otherwise. And hard isn't even a good word. It would just be brutally unfair because it would require luck. Because regardless of how overpowered you are in Mystic Quest, sometimes you will just die based on RNG, and sometimes you'll just win based on RNG. And so this game wouldn't have that problem as severely as Mystic Quest, because the fact that you have a party of 4 means you have more room for things to go right? Like Mystic Quest, enemies spawn, they petrify your 2 characters, you lose the fight before you can act. And that happens pretty frequently. This game wouldn't have that problem as often, but you could still be stuck in really bad positions. And the fact that you have to go through 2 giant dungeons before the final boss, and you wouldn't have a chance to save that whole way, to me seems like that would be crazy. So I know a lot of people will like probably view this and be like, oh, this isn't the legit Final Fantasy II experience. The truth is, I want this Final Fantasy II experience. I think this is great. I really enjoyed it. And I think that the changes were probably needed. Unless they like added save points on like every couple floors or something. But all in all, this game was way better than I expected. Way, way, way better. The story was really, really good. And this game, even more than Final Fantasy 1, I thought, set up a lot of the stuff you would see in the Final Fantasy series. It set up those like betrayals, the surprises, the twists, it set up the like the character deaths. The favorite character in all of Final Fantasy? I would have to think on that one. Because Justin 2? Oh, man. In 2... 2 had a good story. I don't think it had particularly strong characters. So... honestly, my favorite character in 2, this is going to be freaking weird. My favorite character in 2 is the Emperor. I think the Emperor is the best character in Final Fantasy 2. Because the one thing that really stood out on 2 is that 2 has a really competent villain. And a lot of these games, like, Final Fantasy 1 is really novel and cool and cute, but the villain sucks. Like, if the last boss is the first guy you kill in the game, he really doesn't seem threatening. You see him as the very first boss, you kick his ass, and at the end of the game, he's like, surprise, my plan was to do this, create this master plan with a time warp, which is really cool, and then you kill him again. It's like, oh, okay. That wasn't threatening. This game, it's like, no, this bad guy literally killed probably over half the NPCs in the world. This guy, like, he kidnaps the princess and is like, oh, we have a big prize for whoever wins this Coliseum. And then you win the Coliseum tournament. He's like, you really thought we would give you a prize, you moron? No, you're fucking captured. And he imprisons you. Like, he outsmarts your character consistently. The Emperor is by far the best character. And then also when they set up CD North as the big bad, the Dark Knight is the big bad, you're about to fight the Dark Knight, and the Emperor's like, psych, I'm back, and I just crawled my way out of hell, and I'm super powerful, and the freaking Dark Lord is all of a sudden a puss that's like, fuck that, I'm out of here. I can't handle this. You never even fight the Dark Lord, because the Emperor just comes back and is like a way bigger bad than him. And he kills Batman. So yeah, Emperor by far in this game is the best character. Best character in Final Fantasy in general would be very hard for me to say, because honestly, I feel like Final Fantasy is really great in spite of its characters. I think that I often compare it to the Tales games I've played, whereas I feel like Tales has less interesting plot. Like the story beats are less interesting in the Tales of series, but the characters are a lot more compelling and feel more real. And I feel like Final Fantasy is the other way around, where Final Fantasy, I find often the gameplay systems are really interesting, and I find often what happens in the story is really interesting. Where should you start with Tales? I've only played a few of the Tales games, but I really, really recommend Tales of Vesperia. I think that the main character of Tales of Vesperia is an excellent protagonist. A very, very, very good protagonist. That's the one that has the little dog guy with the like dagger in its mouth. Yeah, that is a really good one. I've only played a couple, but I would really... The characters in that were just great. And the other thing that the Tales of series has is they have skits where anytime you like do certain events, skits will pop up where your characters interact with each other, and based on the characters you use and stuff like that. So even though the events in the plot are kind of they're fine. They're totally fine. But you don't really remember the story, you remember the characters. And you actually grow really attached to them. In this game, for instance, we had a lot of character deaths, and it was surprising in the sense that I didn't expect a game this early in the series to have those deaths. But you didn't really, really care about them. Like, the character I guess you cared about the most that died was Rickard, because he's the last Dragoon. He's the one that can take care of this wyvern. He's the one that can train this boy. Like, there were stakes to his death, but I don't think you got really attached to any of the characters in this game. It was more like the story of the war was interesting. And so that's kind of where I stand on this. Sure, let's save this. Bam. Save complete. Okay. Oh, let's look at the extras. We need to look at the extras. Let's look at the gallery. So how many of them are there? 77. Okay, let's look at the concept art in this game. We didn't look at this earlier because I knew it would have spoilers. Like, it would show the last boss, I'm sure. Okay. Oh, that's Firion, as he's called. Or Curly in this game. This art is all... Oh! Look at CD North. Oh my god, look at Fruityverse. It's so interesting to see, like, what the artist visualized the characters as in a way that couldn't be represented. Oh, battling demons. Interesting. This is... There's a lot going on in this. Look at that pose. Man, CD North's got poses. Dang, he's like in a Michael Jackson music video or something. He looks a bit like that guy that was on SourceFed, Elliot, or whatever his name was. Elliot from SourceFed. Okay. Furion. Dang, are those Furion's naked thighs, or is that armor? Okay. Yeah, it's weird. One of the things about this game is, like, the only main character that really kind of had personality, I guess, was the second character. The female main character, who we called Goats. Because, like, Farty's personality was, like, can't speak well. Furion's was, like, I'm the leader. But he didn't have a personality. CD North is, like, I want power, I'm bad guy. The only one that kind of had personality was Goats. But all their personalities were pretty, you know. Oh, Maria. That's her name. Okay, so that was Goats. Oh, Guy or Guy. That was Fruityverse. And this is CD North, Leon. Minwoo. Let's hide the text. That was Joseph or Yosef. Gordon. Layla. That was the pirate. That was Rickard. Rickard looks so intense here. This is the guy I kept calling Batman. And Princess Hilda. The Emperor is doing, like, spooky, like, ooh, spooky hands. The Palamecian Emperor. Yeah, the Emperor I thought was pretty sick. I like the Emperor a lot in this, actually. Oh, there's Sid. This game had Sid. Yeah, the concept art in this... I love that these games can have the concept art. And it's cool... Oh, that's Borgin. He actually looks quite similar to how he appeared in the game. It's nice visiting this after and seeing, like, how these sprites were being actually, like, visualized in the imagination. Vampire Thorn. Okay, now we just see a bunch of the monsters. Which a lot of these monsters are going to look very similar to things we've seen in the game. Wait, Final Fantasy Legend came before this? Because this was like 1988 or something. This is pretty... Although I wonder if Sid was in... Some things in the Pixel Remaster, I wonder if they were in the original, or if they were put back in retroactively as nods to the series. I'm not sure. This game, though, I feel like set up a lot of the first in the Final Fantasy series. There's a lot of things in this game that feel like... Oops. Where's that guy? There's the zombie. A lot of things in this game... This guy feels like you caught him. Like he just dropped his towel and it's like, oops. Especially the one in the back. A lot of things in this game feel a lot more Final Fantasy than the first one. Like the first one had... The reason it feels Final Fantasy is like, there's jobs. There's crystals. Like, there's a black mage, there's a white mage. Like, it sets up a lot of that fundamental stuff. But this sets a lot more story beats that feel Final Fantasy to me. Yeah, so many of these, the monster concept arts look so similar to the ones in the game. Which is clearly because, like, clearly they can implement much higher graphics for the enemy sprites. Oh my gosh. Oh, were there Malboros in the first one? These guys are... Oh, they always terrify me in those games. Okay. Now I feel like I have to talk over this because I got a false claim for this song yesterday. Ugh. Ah. So annoyed. You see who's claiming it and you're like, they don't own the rights. But I can't dispute this, I don't think, because I don't own the rights either. Okay. I think this might be the first bomb in Final Fantasy, I'm guessing. Because I don't remember them in the first game. Okay. The behemoths are pretty cool. Behemoths always look pretty cool in Final Fantasy games, I find. Oh, yeah. Beelzebub, Astaroth. I remember these guys. Oh, is this the final Emperor? Emperor B. Okay, that's all of them. Okay. So, how much music is in this? Yeah, it doesn't have that big of a soundtrack. A couple songs in this game were rad, though. What were they? Oh, yeah. When the princess was, like, hopping to bed with me. I forgot about that. Okay. What was the sick one? What were the 6 songs? Wait. Chocobo theme? Wait. Did we miss a chocobo? Were there chocobos in this game? What the hell? Where the hell were the chocobos? The only chocobos I saw in this game when we got, like, what was it? We were like when enemies casted Confuse on us. Is this the song I liked a lot? I can't remember. I think I like this one a lot. Is this it? Who knows? Oh, I think I like this one a lot. I like this one a lot. Pandemonium. Okay. And the battle theme is pretty solid on this one. And we're not going to look through the bestiary. Let's just see if we missed anything. Yeah, we missed something there. We missed a couple guys. Okay. So, this video, this VOD of Final Fantasy is going to be way more credits and extras than the game itself. Okay. Oh my gosh. Scully, thanks so much for the resub. I appreciate it. So, a few things I should shout out. Firstly, I added a few new social links. So obviously Twitter, I've been uploading lots of crazy AI art up there, which I've been using on all my YouTube thumbnails, which you can also see on my YouTube VODs channel. My YouTube VODs channel looks insane right now. It is such a dumb decision for me to replace every thumbnail with an AI generated art based on the game. But fuck it, it's funny. I like it. The Discord, we have a bunch of awesome peeps there. I spend a lot of time hanging on the Discord. That's the easiest way to, like, message me. I just created a TikTok in which I'm basically uploading a bunch of these clips, and I'm just, you know, doing a slow drip of that content. And I just created an Instagram last night. The Instagram is, you're going to see, currently we have a bunch of, like, the preliminary art for my Twitch channel that my sister did. The really preliminary art that I did, that's just trash. We've uploaded some clips. I'll be uploading some, like, of those MS Paint pictures I did for stream. I'll upload some of those AI generated art up there, I'm sure. I'll upload more clips. So Instagram, I'm sure, will be a lot more active than it is right now. Just working on that stuff at the moment. Gotta do a couple shoutouts. First, shout out Murphicles. Murphicles is a great guy. Know him in real life and is just a genuinely really good person. I did not realize he Twitch streamed until I was, like, already on here. And when I found out, I was like, oh, sick, really? Very, very good musician and guitarist and composer, and does all those things on stream, as well as plays games like Halo and speedruns them. Also, shout out the real Wifeosaurus, who's a very, very kind person. I wish I was able to raid her more because she gives me so many raids. But she also just has such an enjoyable, warm stream. She's currently playing Kingdom Hearts, but she often does really chill vibe games like Dragon Quest Builders 2, Spiritfarer, Slime Rancher, Stardew Valley. She's also been playing, I know, Subnautica. I really recommend checking out her channel. Just good person. Those are both really good people, and I really highly recommend both of them. Okay. Is anyone online? Should we go say hi to someone? Okay. Dama plays games. I don't really get to raid Dama. Dama's playing Psychonauts 2, which I will probably not stick around for, just because I really want to play that game. I have definitely got to play with Psychonauts at some point. But Dama is great. Dama does a lot of rhythm games too. Let's go say hi to Dama. Okay. Thanks again, Goats and Scully and anyone else hanging out. Rezos. I hope you guys have a great day. Mwah. Thanks again.